Welcome to Greater Sudbury. It's the city in North America with the most lakes within its boundaries. There are over 330 lakes inside the limits of Greater Sudbury, and I am gonna see how many I can get into in just one day. I've got two boss Waverunners from Yamaha. I've got this awesome Ford F250 with the Tremor package. All I need now is a wingman, or in this case, wing woman.
Our friends at Ford hooked us up with a wicked F250 Super Duty Tremor packed with all kinds of tech, like the Pro Trailer Backup Assist and Ford's Ultimate Towing Package, which means no sketchy launch ramp will be too much for us.
So I don't really know if you fully understand what you've gotten yourself into today.
Oh, really?
We are going to try to hit as many lakes as we can. I think we got the perfect ride for it, this Ford truck, the Waverunners. What are your thoughts right now? How are you feeling?
Very excited. I'm ready to take on the day.
Excited? Basically, the number of lakes that we can hit depends mostly on our trailering skills, which for me, fair to middling. But we're in a great place for it. Have you been to Sudbury before?
Yes, I have a few times. Beautiful city. Excited. I've never seen the lakes though before.
One of the coolest things about what we're doing is this is sort of a tour that not many other people have done, because why the heck would you drop in and pull out of every lake?
Right.
Here are our rules for our challenge. We've got to get a selfie on each lake
Okay.
to prove that we were there, obey the rules of the road.
Yes, of course.
We've got to use proper launch ramp etiquette. We don't want to be getting in people's way. The most important thing, we gotta have some fun.
Sounds great. Looks like it's gonna be a beautiful day too.
I don't know if you know this, but Sudbury has more lakes than anywhere else in North America.
I did not know that.
330 lakes, over 10 hectares, so they're not just counting little puddles.
That's a lot of lakes.
And the cool thing is, a lot of them have public boat launches, so what we're doing right now, anybody could recreate. This is Ramsey, our first lake.
Oh, wow.
Pretty well the main lake in Sudbury. You can see Laurentian University on one side. We've got Science North, which is a really cool looking building, and the world's largest mural, which is on the old hospital.
Cool. How big are all of the lakes?
They're all gonna be a little bit different, which is cool. And I think it's like a pretty cool way to see a really cool area.
Yeah.
I love Northern Ontario, it's so beautiful.
Oh, it is. Let's do this.
Let's do this.
All right.
For a task like this, I can't think of a better partner than my friend Venessa. She knows how to boat, how to ride, and most importantly, she's up for the challenge.
You'll need this.
Okay. And
I'll
you'll need
take
this.
This, perfect. What do you like, black or blue?
I'm good with, let's go with black.
Sounds good.
And for exploring new water, Yamaha's kicked in a GP 1800R HO and an FX Cruiser SVHO, a couple of the fastest and most powerful PWCs in their lineup. The closest lake to Sudbury's downtown, Ramsey is well developed with homes, cottages, and parks on every shore, along with Science North, Laurentian University, and Canada's largest mural on the old hospital, which was the perfect place to snag our selfie before heading back to the launch ramp and on to lake number 2.
Perfect. One down.
That was so much fun.
That was good.
That was good. Where are we going to next?
Okay, so next is Silver Lake. It's the smallest lake on our list. So pretty tiny lake. It should be a nice, quick rip and back on the truck to lake number 3.
Awesome.
And that's where we hit our first snag. A locked gate.
Okay, well, we're not getting on there.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I guess you can't always trust what you see online. So,
This is true.
on to the next one.
On to the next one.
Okay, so Lake 2 was a bit of a bust,
Yeah,
but that's all right. We got plenty more.
that's okay.
Lake 3. You want to know where we're heading?
Yes, I want to know.
All right. It is Long Lake, and it's called that because it is very long.
Sounds, yeah.
14.5 kilometers.
Okay.
I think that this would be a great place to drag race those Waverunners.
I like it.
What do you think?
Yes, I think that we should definitely do that.
We're gonna figure out which one of these things is a bigger beast.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
saddle up. See which one of these babies has more juice.
I like it.
All right, you ready? Ready. 3, 2, 1, go.
Even though Venessa got the jump on me off the start, I caught her with that GP 1800R. 63 miles per hour thanks to that Nano XL2 racing hull.
That was awesome.
That makes you cry.
You might have the supercharged engine, but you can't beat the pep of this 1800.
And we got our second selfie.
All right, you ready for the next lake?
Yep, all ready.
Let's get a move on.
From the launch ramp on Long Lake, we're heading back up to Old Highway 17 and east towards the town of Walden, where we can hit 2 lakes back to back. First up, lake number 4 is Simon Lake.
Now this is the kind of sketchy launch ramp I was hoping for to really put that Pro Trailer backup assist to the test. And this is why you check out the launch ramp before you come cruising down at it. Just move this out of the way.
Maybe we should have taken that as a sign, or maybe the abundance of weeds, many of which quickly ended up in our Waverunners intakes.
Okay, well, I mean, technically we are in a 3rd lake,
Yes,
so-
we made it.
Still got our selfie though.
And this is why you have safety equipment on board.
Yep. We'll paddle back, pull out, and on to the next one.
On to the next one.
You know, in hindsight, maybe that tree down was a sign.
Guess we learned our lesson with this one.
Yeah. What do you think the problem is?
Now, this boat is really meant for some serious exploring. You can put 9 people in it.
Looking for a new or used boat? BoatBuys.com has over 30,000 boats listed with reviews, tests, buyer's guides, and more. Visit BoatBuys.com.
This is the new 2021 Highfield Sport 460, the big brother to the Sport 420. It has 9 passenger capacity and offers just a bit more space than the 420. But it still offers all of the same features we find on the rest of the Sport lineup. Luxury features such as premium double diamond stitched upholstery and soft EVA foam decking are common to all models. Check out this bow step. Not only does it have a low, smooth profile for easy reboarding from the beach, but notice the cleats fold flat and the nav lights are flush mounted, so there's nothing to trip over. Now this 460 has a fuel tank below deck, which means forward, unlike the 390, you actually have storage under the bow seat. Now, fuel tank below deck also provides plenty of capacity, but it distributes the fuel load over the entire boat. And that's pretty important in a boat at least 15 feet long. It provides much better balance. So we're going to be curious to get out on the water and see how this thing handles. The bow cushion doesn't provide the only storage. Obviously, with a console like this, you're going to have a little bit of storage. Now, mind you, it does share its space with the battery and the controls. But notice it's held up on 2 gas struts. You don't have to hold it up while you're working underneath. And with direct access under the console, it's going to be easy to add electronics down the road. Now, one of the really nice things when you get up into a 420 and a 460 is just how much deck space there is. There's an easy walk through to the helm and a little bit more beam in this broad helm seat. Now, the console here is actually shared between the 390, the 420, and the 460, but it is big enough to mount a 7-inch chart plotter, which is really nice when you look at how they can spread the gauges away from the chart plotter. So if you don't want to read your fuel capacity from the chart, you want to read it right off the analog gauge right away, it's nice and visible. These sport models are fully featured and come with push-button LED switches at the helm, along with 12-volt accessory power and LED courtesy lighting as standard equipment. Now, the forward 2 compartments aren't the only storage on the boat. There is an enormous storage compartment underneath the helm seat, which is also held up on a gas strut, so you're not having to hold it up. And because this storage is above deck and the deck has floor drains, it is dry in there. Now, you'll notice a powder-coated arch on this boat, and it is an option, but it's one that I really like. For one, it's got an elevated cleat. And 2, it's got a fixed position for the 360 all-around navigation light, so you're not digging it out from under the helm seat. Now, if you don't choose the arch, you can get an optional ski pole for towing, but this also has an elevated tow point. Highfield only uses marine-grade aluminum in their hulls,
But did you know they are chromated before powder coating for additional corrosion resistance? Even so, each sport model gets a protective keel guard to help prevent scratches, allowing you to beach this boat with confidence. And check out the extra large tow points that are welded to the hull, with inserts to protect the aluminum from rigid tow hooks. They even take the time to weld on a drain plug holder and external transducer mounts, so you don't have to drill any holes through the hull when adding electronics.
Well, the first thing I notice when I get in this boat is how roomy it is. And you don't really get a good feel for that at the dock until you're driving it. There's plenty of room for your feet at the console, and it just feels open and spacious. The second thing you notice right away is the 70. It's a fairly new motor from Yamaha. It's light, but it's super, super responsive. Like, I can't believe we're getting very, very close to 42 miles an hour with the 70 on the back. In fact, I don't think I'd add any more engine. I don't think you're gonna go much faster. We get a tiny bit of porpoising on top and we trim the motor right out, but it does get the boat out of the water and get us to 42. So I think if you added a fin, you'd probably get rid of that. But overall, extremely stable boat. And then there's the hull. You know, these Ocean Master hulls are just fantastic. And every year they keep getting just a little bit better. This one feels more refined than the one I drove a couple of years ago. Maybe it's because the boat's brand spanking new, but there's just not a lot of resins coming up. This is a very quiet boat.
We found a protected bay for filming, but you can still see this hull in action. Just look at how it slices through the water. This is one smooth, comfortable ride.
And these big 19-inch tubes keep you plenty high and dry. And of course, the rub straight that wraps all the way around the boat. They also act as spray guards. They're keeping the spray really, really low. So even if you decide to trim the motor down, get the boat back in the water where there's some spray forward, you're not getting wet at all.
And then there's the handling. Thinking about water sports? No problem making a quick U-turn to pick up a fallen skier.
This boat is really meant for some serious exploring. You can put 9 people in it. Wonder where we could take it. Full tank of fuel. See you later.
Today I'm going to show you how easy it is to change out your sacrificial anodes on land and in the water.
Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for projects, tips, and DIYs, as well as exclusive behind-the-scenes segments from the show. youtube.com/PowerBoatTV.
We seem to talk a lot about corrosion prevention on PowerBoat TV, and that's because it's simple maintenance you can do on your own, and doing it right can save you thousands of dollars. So today I'm going to show you how easy it is to change out your sacrificial anodes on land and in the water.
Sacrificial anodes are unpainted and exposed pieces of metal designed to wear away from the effects of corrosion within the water. Their main purpose is to protect your boat's mechanical parts from being corroded by sacrificing themselves rather than those more expensive parts. On a fiberglass boat, you'll find anodes on drive shafts, rudders, trim tabs, and other metal parts. On a metal boat, there are usually anodes right on the hull.
Now, you may have heard of sacrificial anodes being referred to as zincs because that's what they were traditionally made from. These days, it's aluminum and magnesium that are more often used to provide cathodic protection for less active metals. Each type does its job in a different environment, and choosing the right one is crucial to providing maximum corrosion protection for your boat.
Aluminum is the most versatile alloy, so it's best used in salt and brackish water. Martyr's aluminum premium anodes are pressure die cast and manufactured to meet ISO and even US military standard and will last up to 50% longer than traditional zinc anodes. Plus, they weigh half as much as zinc and contain no cadmium, a toxic material found in traditional zincs. In freshwater, zinc can form a protective oxide layer that actually prevents cathodic protection. So for freshwater only, magnesium anodes are the way to go. Also designed to exceed US military standard, magnesium can even help protect against stray current corrosion in the water caused by shore power in your boat or your neighbor's. Martyr's Magnesium Fresh anodes come with a sticker saying freshwater only, to make sure you don't use them in salt water, where they'll disintegrate quickly.
Martyr anodes come in single pieces or in kits designed to fit your engine, and what they all have in common is they're all a heck of a lot cheaper to replace than the expensive parts that they protect.
All your anodes should be checked for wear at least once a season to make sure they're still doing their job.
When they're about 50% worn, it's time to replace your anodes. Otherwise, you could end up with metal parts looking pretty corroded. Thankfully, Martyr anodes are designed to be easily replaced.
Just remove the old one and screw on a new one in the same place. Although if your anodes are still looking like new after a few years, chances are they're not actually doing their job and should be swapped out for new ones. Make sure to check all the metal parts for worn anodes and replace the ones that need replacing.
So I wasn't lying, that is a very easy self-maintenance project that you can do by yourself on land. What happens if you already launched your boat and you forgot to check your anodes this year? Or you see them and you realize that they need a changing? Well, Martyr boasts that theirs are pretty easy to change in the water as well. So we're gonna put that to the test right now. So the key to the underwater installation are these interlocking halves that fit together perfectly around the shaft. I've got a floaty on my Allen wrench. Only hard part should be holding my breath.
Unlike a lot of other ones, Martyr's shaft anodes are held in place with just 2 bolts and can come in Allen or slotted heads, which makes underwater installation a breeze, which is great if you get spooked underwater easily. They're also low profile and hydrodynamic and are designed for 100% contact with the shaft for the life of the product.
There's no better way to see the city with the most lakes in it than by hitting the most lakes
It's so true.
that we can.
Welcome back to Greater Sudbury. No city in North America has more lakes, and Venessa and I are on a quest to see how many of those we can hit in just one day. After a minor snag on Simon Lake, it's a short drive west to McCharles Lake, where we splashed our Waverunners at Centennial Park, another one of the many public and free launches in the city. From the ramp, we turn north towards the spot where the Vermilion River opens up to feed the lake and a beautiful little waterfall. The perfect spot to snap our selfie to mark our 4th lake of the day.
Cool.
Very cool.
We didn't come here just to see the scenery, so before we pull out and head to our next destination, we're cruising back under the bridge and out into the lake to find a little more room to play on our Waverunners.
Oh, that was so well worth that trip.
I think that's my favorite one so far.
Yeah, I would say so. It was really beautiful. The waterfall was really nice. And then even those like really big hills out in the distance, did you see that?
Yeah, it's so cool. It's like another planet up here. I'm gonna go get the truck. No time to waste. Let's get on to the next one.
Sounds good. Ready to go.
So 4 down, we're making pretty good time. Next up is our longest drive over land.
About 66 kilometers to the far northwest corner of Greater Sudbury to Windy Lake Provincial Park. It's a bit of a hike, but man, is it scenic. We wind our way through the hills, past the Onaping Falls to our 5th lake of the day. Determined to use public launches, the ramp at Windy was actually the only ramp we had to pay to use all day.
All right, what do you think? Should we swap rides?
I think we should. I'd love to give this one a shot.
I'd like to try out the FX Cruiser.
Yeah, let's give her. How cool is that?
What a day.
Yeah,
Should we go check out the lake?
let's do it.
This is the biggest lake on our tour. It's the 5th biggest lake in Sudbury.
Is that right?
With its wider hull, the added stability is noticeable, but I couldn't believe how close the responsiveness was to the GP 1800. I could ride this thing all day. But time's a wasted, so after snapping our selfie, it's time to get out of Dodge.
Whoa, coming in hot. So 5 down, kind of 4. We got 5 selfies though. We're sort of running out of daylight. You think we can get 2 more?
I think we can get 2 more. I think with our docking skills and everything that we've accomplished for today, I think we could do it.
We're getting better.
Yep,
All right, back in the truck.
we got this.
Let's do it. On the road again.
Here we go.
Back towards town, just past Chelmsford, our 6th lake is Whitewater Lake, a good-sized puddle with a super manageable launch ramp that we were down in no time. Off in the distance is the Inco Superstack, the tallest chimney in the Western Hemisphere. It looks a lot more impressive in real life than it did in our selfie.
I gotta hand it to you. You are a trooper. This has been a big day.
It's been a great day. We've had beautiful weather. Those Waverunners are amazing to drive.
Such a blast.
And Sudbury is really beautiful.
If you ask me, there's no better way to see the city with the most lakes in it
Right?
than by hitting the most lakes
It's so true.
that we can. But we've launched 6 times. We've explored 5 lakes. We got about an hour and a half of sunlight left. We got one more lake. It's about a 15-minute drive. You still with me?
I'm still with you and I'm ready to go.
All right, let's do this, partner.
Let's do this.
With the sun dipping low, we pulled into our 7th launch of the day at Whitson Lake, a sparsely populated one near the town of Valcarin, which is a popular spot for anglers looking to sneak in some fishing after a long day's work. Lake number 7. This is pretty good.
Number 7.
And we got glass, calm water to let these things rip.
Seven lakes.
We did it.
We did it. That's quite the feat.
It was a great day.
For sure. I think if I had to do it again, I'd probably do fewer lakes, spend an hour or so on each one, because there's a lot of water to discover up here, which is really cool.
There's so much water, yeah.
And since we're in Sudbury, I got one more thing I want to show you.
Okay.
You ready?
I'd love to see it.
Back to the truck.